Welcome to Give Yourself Grace. I'm your host, Grace Perry, and I am so thrilled you're here. As a content creator and coach, I've built a six-figure business to help women step into their power and share their stories with the world. My mission is to empower you to embrace your unique journey and every season this life has to offer. If you crave entertainment, guidance, and tools to transform your reality, you have come to the right place. So come with me on this adventure and truly give yourself the grace that you deserve. Let's dive into the show. Welcome back to Give Yourself Grace and Happy New Year. I cannot believe it's already 2025. And if you're like me, I hope you are just as excited about this new year as you were to finish out 2024. Because if we're being honest, 2024 was a lot. It was one of my most successful years so far, but it was also one of my most challenging. And it's so wild to be sitting here and talking into this microphone to you, because not only is today's episode special, it's the first episode of 2025, but it's the first guest interview on the podcast. It's crazy. Drum roll, please. So, this interview was actually filmed back in July of 2024, right before I officially launched. And I couldn't have chosen a better first guest for this milestone than one of my closest friends here in Denver. Now, let me formally introduce you to Sasha Canady. Sasha is a heart-centered business coach who guides women to become the change maker of their own transformations. She's the perfect mix of strategy and flow, helping you connect with your community on a deeper level by tapping into your changemaker brand through soulful content and storytelling. She's on a mission to transform businesses into movements. And last year, she helped her clients bring in over $1 million in revenue online, all by showing up as their most authentic selves. Now, I first met Sasha at the Higher Self Gala when I first moved to Denver several years ago. And I just remember being so magnetized to her energy. It felt like I had known her for years, if not lifetimes. She just became that friend to me that I could really rely on and support and really seek inspiration from. And it's so wild because almost more than a year ago now, she shared with me her vision for Her HAUS, which in her mind was this creative and safe space for women to gather. And very shortly thereafter, she went out into the world and created it. Her HAUS is now a thriving in-person and online community. It is a creative space and studio and co-working in Westminster, Colorado. It is amazing. The vibes are like 10 out of 10. I highly recommend, if you're local to the Denver area and a female entrepreneur, to check out Her HAUS. This is going to be a global movement. And it's just so amazing to see her living out her dream and to be bringing women together, women like myself who just love her events and are growing alongside of her. And so fast forward to now, Her HAUS is a thriving community that's making waves in Denver. And Sasha is the perfect example of someone that I want to introduce you to, someone that I want you to just hear their story so that you too can be inspired and motivated to go after those big dreams, to not only talk about your big visions, but to go out in the world and create them. And you're going to hear me say this a lot on this podcast, and just your daily reminder that we are literally on a floating rock in outer space. The life is what you make of it. Like, there are so many opportunities out there, and to hear stories and to surround yourself with like-minded people and people that are actually doing the damn thing, that is how you make your dreams come true. That is how you learn and how you go after it and really create a life that you're so excited about. And so I want to introduce you to Sasha because she is a fellow woman who is trailblazing her way to her biggest of dreams. And my hope is that her journey can give you the permission and the inspiration to do the same. So without further ado, let's dive into my conversation with Sasha. Welcome to Give Yourself Grace. We are here. Welcome. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is the first episode interview of Give Yourself Grace.
I'm so honored.
Oh, Sasha, I love you so much. Thank you for your time and just being here today. I'm nervous, guys. This is the first time I've ever had an interview for a podcast. I don't know, like, this is a big deal.
This is the real and the raw.
We had to set this sign up. It was quite a journey. We've had some technical issues, but we're here. We made it, and I'm so excited to share and just talk with you, Sasha. So I want to dive right in because our listeners definitely want to know the juicy golden nuggets of your wisdom. So talk to us a little bit about your business story and maybe share a pivotal moment in your journey of like how you got here.
Sure. So I am a heart-centered business coach, and I left corporate in 2020. I was doing marketing for Inc. 5000 brands, and like a lot of other people in corporate, I got super burnt out. I was done with the toxic, like, corporate politics. I was in a super male-dominated field. And I had seen all these people online, Sunny Lenarduzzi, Amy Porterfield. Like, I was learning from so many of them to grow marketing for this Inc. 5000 brand. And I was like watching them so inspired. And I was like, I can do that. Like, I want to go help women specifically grow their business. And I want to work with women. And I want to be a thought leader in this space because I had felt like marketing was starting to lose. Like, it was getting so, like, algorithm based, and, like, you know, AI was, like, starting to, like, pop in here and there. And I was like, okay, but, like, let's not lose, like, sight of the human part of marketing and growing a business and doing it with soul. And I really wanted to go work with women. So that was kind of like my big turning point of corporate, of leaving. And I left. I started on TikTok. Love it. So I loved TikTok in 2020. It was, like, very different than it is now. It was like the wild, wild west, and people were just finally showing up on social so raw and authentic and real. And I was learning so much. Like, that, I had my spiritual awakening because of TikTok. Like, because women were on there sharing their experience, like, sharing their knowledge, sharing their wisdom in such a raw, authentic way. I had this, like, big spiritual awakening. I was like, shoot, if I'm going to start my business from scratch, because in corporate, you don't have to grow your own social media when you're just working in corporate, right? So I was starting from zero. When I left, I was like, I'm going to start on TikTok because, like, this is, like, where I like to hang out and, like, where I'm learning the most. And it just blew up because TikTok was, again, just blowing up. So yeah, that's kind of, like, how I started my business.
And so from that point, when you said, yes, I'm posting, I'm going to commit to just showing up for my audience, how did you get out of your own way?
Oh my gosh, such a good question. I felt like I got out of my own way by just continuously showing up every single day and, like, learning from each mistake or misstep and just, like, pivoting quickly. And I think, like, the biggest thing was knowing this, like, I had this deep self-trust that I was made for something really big. Yes. And if I didn't just go for it, I would never get there. Like, I knew what I was coming from. Like, being, like, so burnt out and depressed and, you know, stuck in corporate and like, living a life I didn't want to live. I'm like, well, I can only go up from here, right?
Yes.
And so I just, like, kept focusing on what I was, you know, running towards instead of what I was running away from. And, like, when I just started to show up authentically on this brand new platform where nobody knew me, that's, like, another little hint. Start on a platform where, like, don't turn your personal Instagram into your Instagram, because all you're gonna be like, oh my god, my family members, what is cousin Johnny gonna think about, like, what I'm posting? Yeah. Like, I started on a brand new platform, just tried to show up so authentically, and it really called in the right people. And that's how I started to get more confidence, is when the right people were like, oh my gosh, like, this was so inspiring, thanks for sharing. And, like, little by little every day I got a little bit more confident.
So key. Consistency is everything.
Everything.
Even in business, like,
entrepreneurship for all of us is such a struggle. And I love how you like peel back the curtain and you're just like, this is it. This is what I'm going through. And this is who I am. And it is so inspiring to me. And I'm so grateful for you. Seriously. Can you talk a little bit more about your journey and like what you had to go through to really give yourself grace, and how to inspire and how you use it as a superpower and how you inspire others? Like Sasha always says she's a change maker and she encourages her clients and her community in that space. And honestly, you were the first person I think to hear, like for me to hear change maker and to like truly understand what that means.
Yeah, let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So for me, the idea of a change maker is an innovator, a disruptor, someone who knows they're here to make big waves in society and change the way we're doing things, but also change their own life and like for their family and get more financial freedom and break these generational curses. Like you have to change internally before you can start to see your external world change. So that's kind of the biggest thing is like I work with women who are wanting to make big change in their life and through their business. So for me, like going back to your original question of like, you know, what was something you had to overcome or like that got you here? For me, it was like the unraveling and like the shedding of like all of this conditioning I had from society, from working in corporate, from family, from, you know, what I had to really like deprogram out of this like hustle, like wounded masculine mindset of like the more I work, the harder I work, then things will come for me.
Yes.
Like I was very much on that like independent woman journey, and I still am, but I was like, I had the wrong mindset about it. I was like, okay, if I just like work harder than everyone else, I'll get to where I want to be. Instead of realizing like what I'm here made to do is like already, the path's already laid out for me. And so the biggest like hurdle I had to come over in my own business is getting out of my own way of like being like a horrible boss to myself. Like I was mean to myself. Why was I working so much?
Yes. Oh my God. Mic drop there.
Yeah. And like changing the mindset of like obviously like I'm not trying to discount the hard work that goes into growing your business. But if you are not finding the harmony between the creative feminine flow and that like masculine like get shit done, like you're gonna feel off balance all the time. And like there's gotta be a mix and a flow of both. And so honestly that's been the biggest thing for me is figuring out how to have that harmony between both.
I love that. I think it's so important when we talk about that harmony is to find that environment. Can you speak to a little bit about your community that you're building? And I think a lot of people really struggle to find support within their friends or family to, you know, leave that corporate job or to start their own business, right? It's like, how do you find community?
Yeah. I think like putting yourself in the right rooms and in the right environment will change your life. Like that is the quickest way to change your life. If you're like, where do I get started on X, Y, and Z goal? Go get in a different room where people are already accomplishing that goal. Like number one. And it might take, like for me, I literally had to move my ass from living in Wisconsin to living to Denver to find my right community. I was just feeling like my digital business was booming in Wisconsin, but I was like feeling like I was missing something of like the in-person community. There's just not a lot of entrepreneurial stuff in Wisconsin. It's just like a very different culture and vibe. Very like, let's go sit by the lake all day and like drink beers, but like it wasn't super conducive to like, how do I call in this group of women that I want to hang out with every single day and like grow together? So I had to move myself from Wisconsin all the way to Denver. I'm not saying you need to go move locations, but you might. Like, don't discount how powerful that is to recognize this current environment is not serving me what I need, I cannot find in this area. It's a big question, but even just finding those groups in your area, like get in person.
Yes.
Digital is great too. So definitely go find those digital groups, but in person collapses time.
Yes.
So even if that means you need to fly to a retreat twice a year to find your people and to be in person with them and have like deep transformation in a small amount of time, like invest in that. Like always invest in person.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
It's gold.
So coming to Denver, I jumped into community right away. Like, I've actually put my business on hold for the first 4 months that I moved here. I was like, I'm just going to focus on making friends, finding my people, dating a little bit.
Yes. Shout out Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff. And, it was great. Like, thanks to passive income, I was physically able to do that in my business. But because of that, everything started to, like, snowball.
Yes.
Everything started to snowball for me because I spent so much time and energy and intention in my first 4 months here just to build community. So getting in the rooms with other expanders here, sharing my vision, sharing my dreams, making the right connections. That's where I met you, Grace.
Yes.
It's where I met my now business partner, Crystal. So because I had shared with Crystal at a coffee date, we were just on a simple coffee date, and I shared this vision of having an in-person gathering space for women, entrepreneurs. And I was like, I don't know exactly what it would look like, but I want it to be like a creative house, podcast studio, have all these different things. And she's like, oh my God, that's so cool. I've always wanted to have a photo studio. And we kind of left it at that. Like, we left that day thinking like, cool, we just shared our dreams with each other. But it was because of that conversation that when a space landed in her lap, a studio, that was too big for her to take on by herself, I was the first person she thought of to call. And so she called me, and I was literally like, I knew in my gut the moment that I picked up the phone, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is the space. She's like, come look at this space. And I was like, okay. We got here, and there was like a synchronicity or a sign for me in every single room of the space saying like, this is it, go for it. We had to make the decision within 20 minutes if we wanted to do this, because there was like 75 other people waiting in line to see the space.
Wow.
And so we both just like had this like inner trusting and knowing of like, okay, this is it. Like, everything is lining up for us. Everything's been put in our path for us. And we went all in, but like none of that would have happened. House Collective in Denver never would have existed if like I hadn't just had that coffee date with another expander and like shared my visions.
That is insane. And just so you guys know, we are in the House
Yes.
Collective right over in their podcaster creator studio. Wow.
Isn't that wild?
Like, just one conversation sparked it all.
Yes.
For you and for Crystal and this community. And I'm here to tell you, and we're going to talk about how to support you and all the things, but like, this space is so authentically beautiful. Like, when you come in here, you feel it. It's an energy exchange, which for you to sit down and have that conversation and then for it to spark such a movement is so incredibly inspiring.
Well, it's such a full circle moment, because like that's the whole point of the space too, right? Is so that I want to change the way women think about being productive in business. Like, it's okay to go to a space where you're not just going to put your head down and work all day. Like, you don't go to a space just to work by yourself. Like, sometimes, sure, maybe, but like, this is a collaborative space. So like, you might have your next big business idea sitting on our big green couch with someone else having coffee, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. Or someone's like, how can I support you? And they introduce you to someone that you needed to know on your path. And there's so much productivity in that, in connection and collaboration, that's why we wanted to create the space, is because it's not just a space to put your head down and work, it's a space to connect.
Yes. And connection's everything, especially when you're starting your business or even just developing it.
Yeah.
For years and years and years, you could be putting so much into it and not seeing the return because you're not focused on connection.
100%.
And that is what community building is, and I just love that you just said that, because it's so true.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through how, and so we might go down a little woo-woo here in the Give Yourself Grace podcast, because I love me some woo-woo.
Love.
But I would love to know, like, how you, whether it's universe, religion, like whatever you believe in, like how do you align your business with the calling or the alignment that you so often we talk about together as like we approach different aspects of our business. We're like, I feel like the universe is talking to me, or like, there might be, signs to listen to. And I think a lot of listeners can relate to that. It's like they feel this pull. They feel like they're meant for more, but they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. I would say the biggest thing is just to follow those breadcrumbs and become aware to them. Because so many times, like, the universe is trying to speak to you and you just like kind of ignore it, or you're not open to it, so you don't even notice. Yes. So I think first it's like just sitting with yourself, going internal, and creating more white space in your life so that you can actually be creative and go internal. And what I mean by white space is like intentional time in the morning to meditate, or just go for a walk, or, you know, have a block on your calendar every week that it's just intentional time to just be with yourself and your thoughts. Because that's when like all the downloads and ideas come through. It's like when you're out for a walk or something, you're out for a hike or something simple. Yes. That's when things always flow in, or at least gives you that space for it to flow in. So yeah, I think just creating that like space to like figure out, what do I even want? Like visualize, like go deep into like, what do I want my life to look like first? Your business needs to work for your life. Like you don't want to build a life around your business. You want to build a business around the life you want to live. Yes. So getting really clear on what that is, first of all, and then saying like, okay, what are some ways, like just brainstorm with yourself. What are some ways or things that I could try doing that would help get me closer to that vision? So if you're like, okay, I really want to like start a podcast, like maybe, you know, you just start to play with that idea for a while, like go brainstorm, create your cover image, go brainstorm names, like take yourself one little step further on that breadcrumb, and then, you know, that might lead to something else, which then you lead you down a different path or whatever. But I think it's just like playing in the energy. And saying like, okay, let me try this. Oh, I hated that. I'm never doing that again. Or I loved that. How can I lean more into that in my business?
Yes.
And starting to make, you know, your offers or however you're monetizing, like how can I monetize what I love doing the most?
Yes.
Like design it around that.
Totally. It's like getting back to your inner child. And I love, like, when I was younger, I used to love playing Office or school. Or, like,
yeah.
It's so funny now because looking back, like, content creation, even, like, creating images or, you know, when I first got my first camera, it was, like, this aha moment of, like, I love to capture the nostalgia. And I think playing in that inner child is so, so important. I love that you said that.
I love that idea.
You goddess. She's a freaking goddess. I mean, I just can't even stand it with you. Okay, so tell me about the big vision. Like, I think as a coach, as a creator, like, we're constantly helping other people, other visionaries step into their power. And you have dropped so many golden nuggets of wisdom, even just in this short conversation. But like, what is your big vision that could give a permission slip for someone else to step into theirs?
Okay, I love that. So my big vision is that there are these gathering spaces for women all across the country or world.
Hell yeah.
And I want to like bring this community to all the places. Like the number one thing I hear is like, I don't have that by where I live. There's nothing like that here. And I want to start to fill those gaps and create these gathering spaces and these retreats and like these things that women can come to no matter where you live and connect and build each other up. So I feel like right now that's my big vision, is just how do I do what we're doing here at House, but like on a much bigger scale, and how do we involve more women, and how do we, you know, support more people. So I think that's kind of it for me right now.
I love that so much. So much. So how can people support you right now? Where can they find you? All the things.
Sure. So on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, all the places, I'm at Biz Coach Sasha. And I would love to connect with you if you have any questions about how to build a more aligned business, how to get more passive income for your business so you can have more freedom in your life to kind of figure these things out. And I, you know, work with people one-on-one. I do consulting for big brands. So honestly, just shoot me a message and we'll see how I can help you.
I love it. Thank you so much. You're a queen.
You're a queen.
I am obsessed with you.
I'm obsessed with you. Look at you.
Thank you for this.
Thank you so much.
Seriously, this is crazy. To sit here with you and in this space that you've built and created with Crystal is just a dream. And to be able to create this and have you on, I'm like, geeking out.
Wait, I need to hear your big vision for the Give Yourself Grace podcast.
Ooh, okay, so many things. I think I just want to create a conversation, like an honest, authentic, raw conversation with women leaders, with my family, with friends, about like how we are meant for so much more.
Love.
And I think that we can all relate to literally just sitting with that thought, like what we talked about today, of like, what is the next big thing? What do I want my life to look like? How do I want to feel? Like the life that you want to build. And a lot of times it's a struggle. And for me, entrepreneurship has been really difficult.
Yes.
Like, and I'm trying to have more just authentic, raw conversations and give yourself grace. The podcast is how we're going to do it.
Love. Yes. Subscribe, guys. Make sure you download every single episode. It's going to be so good.
I'm excited. I love you.
Love you.
Thank you so much for listening. Your support means everything to me. If you found this episode inspiring, please share it on your social media and tag me. I'd love to thank you personally. And as always, sending you love and rooting for you. See you in the next episode.